お待たせしました。白熊です。では早速続けていこうと思います。情報屋が MSI と偶像破壊主義者と取引するのを手伝う。彼らと邪魔してくる偶像破壊者と MSI の通信を止められるブローカーは化合物の場所を送信できない。ということで、早速 MSI から接触していこうと思います。盛大にオフィスビルマンで用意している。
You know, Nyoka, between you and me, we know all there is to know about Monarch.
What makes you say that?
Well, you got your life experience as a hunter.
いいかセーブしとこう。
I've memorized every episode of Terror on Monarch.
Oh, Terror on Monarch's a riot. It's all made up, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, right. Next, you're gonna tell me Halcyon and Helen weren't based on a real person.
I won't tell you that, no. You seem happier in your ignorance. Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Well, Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
いや、あんたが俺と話をするんだ。
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here? What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Halcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
残念ながら違う。
Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
バックトゥザドローイングボードってどういう意味で使ったの？
Because he's scared to go it alone. You need the board to hold your hand and tell you everything's gonna be okay. Ain't that right?
Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
That's the board's way. Doesn't matter if you're Monarch or the Groundbreaker. If the board can't control you, they'll find a way to punish you.
We've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony. Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
Monarch's a free planet, Felix. It's also fucked. I ain't a fan of the folks on the board, but if they could be wrangled to rebuild our roads, I'd welcome the help.
Your friend makes a good point, young man. I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Are you out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's a two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
評議会内で強力な味方を得られます。まあそれはある意味魅力的ではあるんだろうけどな。
In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than... Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
ああ、じゃあな。
Must have been nice, throwing off the shackles of your old job, taking up the rugged life of a hunter.
Sure, it's... Wait, what?
The board must have forced you to do something till you decided to be a hunter. I was hauling boxes till the boss picked me up.
It's not like I threw off the shackles of some other life. I grew up on Monarch. I've always been a hunter.
なるほど。選択肢が悪いのかわからないけど、結局なんかモナークの街がまたハルシアンのものになるみたいな感じになりかけてるような嫌な予感がするな。しかも通信を止めに行かなきゃいけないはずなのに、その話を全然振ってないんだよな、こっちは。
Hey, Myoka. I got some questions I've been meaning to ask you. About being a hunter and all?
Felix, are you reading off your hand again?
Let's take him down!
何した？
Down they go!
That's the last of him!
3で焼けるよ。
Now, where the hell was I? Oh, right. Felix, are you reading off your hand again?
Yep. So, first question? Before you kill your prey, do you ever say any snappy one-liners?
Snappy one-liners? Give me an example.
Like, nothing personal, or maybe, you messed with the wrong hunter.
Animals can't understand language, Felix. Besides, it's always personal. I don't kill them, they'll kill me. Here we go!
まさか3で焼けるよ。そうか、焼けてる最中。
Careful. Only things you'll find in the ruins are liable to shoot you or eat you. Or both.
Exploring some ruins, killing some monsters.
Opening fire!
Don't let up!
Nice one. I love this fight.
これがそのアームズ。 壁がどうのこうのする前はここまで街だったんだろうな。あ、ダメか。
Hello? Hello? I hear boots out there. Wait, can rats wear boots?
ここでラプティドンのようにうなったインターコンの向こうの相手を怖がらせるなりあれするなりしてなんかいいことがあるか。
Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Meta Queen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess.
Oh.
I ran in here, and, now the door's locked. Little help?
閉じ込められたのか。なんで
It's
すんの。
easier than it sounds, alright? Next time you get chased by Raptidons, you let me know the rationality of your decisions. Phew. Thanks, mister. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched.
これ冗談
Don't
だ。
look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross.
おい。
Sure. Pete's not answering questions. Huxley. I'm an iconoclast runner. The iconoclast runner. Fastest we've got. Ain't a raptidon on this void-forsaken hellhole that can catch me. I'm so... Oh, that'd be my people. Graham and Zora and Milton and... I really miss them. You gonna let me out of here? Probably. I don't know. When I try to read things... My buddy locked me in here. I told you that. But, I mean, okay, yes, fine. I get myself into sticky situations. It's just part of... Oh, get me out! What do you mean? Wait, upward? Oh, my eternal soul, it worked!
Ah, phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all... Now I'm out here.
Still landing yourself in trouble, eh, Hux?
Oh, hi, Nyoka. You mind giving me an escort back home?
普通助けてもらったから何かお礼を仕返すだろう。
But I ain't got nothing on me.
じゃあ偶像破壊主義者に俺のことを屈してくれたら貸し借りになる
Can do.
本当に大丈夫か。
Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy and... Hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend?
無事の祈り。
Thanks a lot, mister.
これまたあれだろう。どっちか選べ作戦だな。先が見えてきたぞ。おう。 後でふわり振ろう。
警視庁によりますと、郡司明容疑者や岸今井容疑者ら9人は、福島県いわき市の飲食店の経営者らと共謀して、東京電力から原発事故の賠償金およそ2650万円を騙し取った疑いが持たれています。その後の捜査関係者への取材で、郡司容疑者らが経営者に複数回にわたって賠償金の虚偽申請をさせていたことが新たに分かりました。石井容疑者はすでに5回の虚偽申請をした経営者に対し、6回目の申請を求めていました。
10秒電源をオフにできんの。
賠償金の総額は4億8000万円に上るとみて調べを進めています。京都三大祭りの一つ、時代祭りが行われ、それぞれの時代の伝統衣装に身を包んだ。
なるほどね。これで誰かから何かを盗むことができると。
平安遷都1100年を記念して1895年に始まり、祇園祭り、葵祭りと並ぶ。
じゃあそれに振っとこう。いや待てよ。
平安時代から明治維新まで京都の都が置かれていたそれぞれの時代の伝統衣装を身にまとった参加者が京都御所から平安神宮まで都を
あと5ポイント。
行列はおよそ2000人、長さ2キロに及び、衣装は伝統技術で細部まで再現されています。見物に訪れたおよそ6万人の観光客らは秋の都大路を彩る豪華絢爛な行列に見入っていました。ご覧の方々はこの後は日本テレビで取材しています。
アームズ建造物の鍵。ピッキング。さては
I've been waiting for this. Score one for Felix. You guys see that?
攻撃しろとは言ったかもしれない。でもドロップキックしろと言った覚えはないと思うんだが。うわ、やべ。逃げ帰ろう。無理だ、かない来ない。逃げるんだよ。封鎖中。指揮長。仲間がね、いると増える、持てる重量がプラス40になるからね。仲間2人いて80になったから、やっと走れるようになった。やったね。
I hear you're into Graham's philosophist hogwash, Felix.
Yeah, if by philosophist hog.
やったね。
Felix, I overheard you listening to Tossball. You a fan?
Am I a fan, she asks. I've been a fan since the Rangers won the Tripicale crown.
Right. Explain something to me. What the hell is the point of the sick...
Sir, Please stop.
Forgive me, Celia. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, what can I do for you? You think we're the problem? Have you even heard the nonsense Graham is spewing? It isn't easy keeping a town like Stellar Bay afloat, especially without the board's backing. We need that frequency to reach our trading partners.
グラハムとはまた取引する。俺が話をしてるのはあんただ。
Indeed. That's why it's imperative that MSI be reinstated onto the board. And the first step is getting the Bolt 52. You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it.
削除しろって言ったはずだ。そうだな、あんたは俺をラプティドまみれの修羅場に放り込んだあんたの後始末をさせたんだからな。
I didn't mean for any harm to come to you. This has been my albatross, the great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. In charge of a scrap heap of a city, abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners. I hadn't thought of it that way.
自信持てよ。
But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else? I see. And was his delivery of the... Well, what else can I... Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less.
具体的にあんたの口ぶりだと俺に武器を取りに向かわせたというふうにしか聞こえないわ。
What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
We're dropping a bomb on the board?
Sort of. Really, we're just going to blackmail them into offering us a seat at the table.
But really, whatever gets you excited about the idea, it's definitely a firm middle finger.
Help us with this final matter, and we won't need to broadcast anymore. You have my word. I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
The board just can't let Monarch go, huh?
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are.
Catherine がほぼ間違いなくフォールブルックから供給を行っている。彼女を説得する。もしかしたら場所を教えてくれるかも。
That's part of the problem. She has certain ambitions for Stellar Bay.
Don't get yourself worked up, sir. It's perfectly natural to have a healthy fear.
We really don't need... Oh, I imagine you do. But as much as I love your can-do attitude and dangerous gravitas, Catherine handles all of our shipments. So it would be best if you could leave her in one piece. Is that how you people put it? Of course. I didn't... Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I... You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grimm wore her patience thin a long time ago. Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on... Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mint. So I can talk to him, of course. Sort of the strong... Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors... I couldn't. Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes.
Got a few more questions for you. Real simple. Don't think about him too much.
All right.
あ、間違えた。もう決定のボタンが丸と×入れ替わりまくるからな。ほんと間違えちゃうよ日本人は。Xbox なんで4つあるうちに下のボタンで決定するようになんかしたんだか。しかもソニーがそれに合わせたせいで、ああやめよう。これに関する不平不満を言っても誰も喜びはしないだろう。嘘だろ、なんかいいんじゃねえかよ。
This is gonna be fun. Shocking and roll hell.
Don't mess with us.
多分おとなしく一発で引いたとしてもこいつは
Easy now.
動いてないやつになら
Here we go.
動くなっつ
Here we go. Out of my way.
か行けって言いながらドロップキックかわすのどんだけひでえな。よくそんなこと思いついたの。割とマジでなんてこったリッツォじゃねえか。あいつの使用処理プロセッサーってどこにあるの？いやもっと簡単に言おうか。あいつの回路基板ってどこに入ってんだ？嘘だろ。
That'll be fun.
To shreds, you say?
Nobody messes with you, boss. Hey, a shipwreck. Wonder if we'll find any bodies moldering in there.
Come out and play.
多分あいつらの見てる前に誰かが死体になったからっていう理由だろうな。あいつらが警戒してるの。
Hiding? You scared?
Not gonna work.
I find you.
Returning to normal protocols.
なんてことだった。あと2人いるんだよ。待てよ。あ、分かった。ハードラインの上手い人だったらこんなもんそこをクイックショットで打ち抜くんだろうな。あ、くそ。 あ、もう無理だ。もういい、実力行使やりこう。フェリックスにハンマーを持たせ、ある意味正解だったかもしれないな。そりゃ進めらんねえだろ、在庫がどれも05なんだから。封鎖中。多分リツと主に嗜好品なんだろうな。酒とかお菓子とか、あとタバコとか。でクレオおばさんが主に医薬品とタンパク質でできたお菓子かな。いや適当に言い過ぎたかもな。ロボットがタンパク質を進めてきたからタンパク質でできたお菓子としか思ってないけど、あ、なんか言う。動くなとは言った。あいつらこっちに気づいてないふりしてなんか接近するのやめたみたいだからやめよう。こいつマジで言ってる。 然遠いところにあるんですよ。高速移動できるようになってるから、
So tell me, what do you eat when you're out exploring? It's trail rations, right?
No, that stuff will turn your stomach purple.
What? But I love trail rations. Rizzo's makes them with extra cysty bits.
You ought to try something without so many additives. Something pure. Vodka comes to mind.
I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you.
さてこれでもしかしてさっきのパスワードってまさかスーパーバーゼンオーバーライド。ああ、これのじゃないのか。封鎖中のこの扉を開けるようだと思ったのに違うのか。封鎖とこがどっかにあるんじゃないの？ないの？なんでここハッキングされてんの？手洗いなんか置いてんだか。マーグのここなんだ。 封鎖中なんて。ああ、この拾っとこう。いや、もらっておこう。
dignitaries from around the world. Celebrations began with a procession of imperial family members. Crown Prince Fumihiko and his family wore ceremonial robes. Emperor Naruhito appeared in the Takamikura, known specifically for this event. Specific to the occasion.
Uh-huh. You blind, fella? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
Catherine, you're as welcoming as ever.
Truthfully spoken. I do aim to properly represent my aforementioned nugget of paradise. I'll be sure to remember that, fella. Want to tell me what you need? Well, I'm half listening. Funny, you don't look like one of Lilia's. Sure sound the part, though. Good of you to finally haul your ass over here. I wired for backup weeks ago. Got something that's gonna require special extraction from Cascadia. Found it on a corpse, huh? If you killed Lilia's agent, you get to explain it to her. Not me. Well, shit. I knew he'd come to a bad end one day. Still, no time for weeping and wailing. We've got a metric fuck-ton of bits worth of salvage just waiting for extraction. All right. One of my runners uncovered a cache of Alta Vitae gas, left in a lab when the board abandoned Cascadia. To extract the gas, you'll need to siphon it from the lab in Cascadia into one of your ship's fuel tanks. Totally safe. I do like your gumption, but let's not be hasty. To get to the gas, you'll need to navigate through the town, which is overrun by marauders. The lab itself has become an infested nest, crawling with mantis. You gotta fight through, or figure out some other way to exterminate them. Maybe the ventilation system?
And will again. We ought to be taking any opportunity we get to bury those critters in lead.
Direct and aggressive. I always did like your sensibilities. You know when to strike and when to wait. Shame what came of your crew.
Crews are for ships. They were a family.
Close enough. Now, after you clear the manti nest and reach the storage room, all that's left is to get the gas flowing into the fuel system. The task will require someone with technical skills. Or you could force it through with a plasma overload. Don't recommend that option, though, unless you want to get dead. Got a vicar as your hacker? Men of the cloth never do cease to amaze me. Bright as a newborn star on the outside, blackest of holes within. Once you've got our goods, take them to the groundbreaker. Lilia's fencers ought to handle the rest of it. I've marked the coordinates for you to the lab in Cascadia. On the terminal, use the passcode you got from Stellar Bay to get in. But before you make your run, I could use a heavy helping hand regarding a local issue. For a fine fee, of course. Good. This particular matter of opportunity has been eating at me for a while now. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Clear as that. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit and drowning in his ego. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory, owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid son of a bitch who's gonna get it for me. Kill him, run him out. I don't rightly care for the details. So long as Clive knows resistance to me is costly and futile. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut, or his production lines ought to make do. If you got brass knockers, you could shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't fancy getting shot to shit, you can try asking Duncan for a disguise. Might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to trek the sewers. Void if I know. Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs, doctor a few financial records, or throw a wrench in the canning machine. Sometimes the simplest solution is the sweetest. I don't give a whit about the method or the means, just the end. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the dry goods and sundry building. He ought to have an employee ID in that stash of illicit goods he keeps for select clientele. May luck be with you, since I won't be. How's Clive? Sure.
サンジェルが言うにはお前はモナークのでのある企業の秘密運営について何か知ってるということだ。
Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind drop supplies on the northern bridge. Might be they sure as shit weren't pirates. Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery team in far too long. Find them for me, and I'll pay you handsomely. And I'll thank you kindly for it.
Catherine Malin could sour milk just by glaring at it.
She's fine. Well, so long as you ain't on her bad side. Then she's liable to drown you in the waterfall.
やべえ、口の中が逃げ、血の味だ。どっかの誰かが剥がした橋のこと。そこまで問えばいいのか。
Well, gotta admit, you're tougher than I expected.
オートローダーから遠ざかるように血の跡が続いている。結婚ってどれだ？この赤い血だまりっぽいのでいいのか。
栃木県や茨城県では普及が少しずつ進む一方、未だに後片付けに追われる人の姿が多く見られました。LCC 格安航空会社のバニラエアがピーチアビエーションと経営統合するのを前に、昨日バニラエア便の運航が
なんだこれ。マジでなんだ怖いやつ。これをだから出てもらうわけじゃない。やべ。あー、いって。お薬で停止しまーす。までなんだこのやりすぎる考えたはず。よほど誰かを通したくないらしい。畜生、こんな いやらしいもん来やがって。変態やろ。いや、置いたやつが女だったら、変態野郎はちょっと申し訳ない発言になるんだ。どっちにせよこれをやったやつが変態だということに変わりはないな。なんか変な棒拾わなかったか。気のせいか。気のせいか。どっちくしよう。俺は地雷処理班じゃないんだぞ。そったれ。まだある。おっと。なるほど。
Stay back. I may be wounded, but I'm still armed. How'd you get past my traps anyway? Just remember, I still got bullets, in case you get any funny ideas. What are you doing out here anyway? That feels a mite better. Wish I had something to give you, but I gnawed through my last Spratwurst an hour ago. Catherine had us making drops for some big-shot client out here. And before you ask, I don't know who they are. Or were. The whole point of making drops in the middle of nowhere was to keep their identity and whereabouts a secret. The Marauders knew we were coming. Rigged the bridge with explosives and everything. If they found us, my guess is they found the client too. Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell. And the traps usually keep gawkers out. Sounds right. If you got the sand to go after him, I'm sure Catherine can reward you for your trouble. Me? I'm headed back to Fallbrook just as soon as I've caught my breath.
結合してるんだ。そんなことないか。いくらあっても足りないからな。ああ、とうとう重量オーバーになったか、やっぱり。近い。
Careful, you're hurt!
白い風になって
Must have been one ugly fight.
We ought to be quick about this.
武器がここにあることになってたらな、ここの武器はもう取ったんだよな。バー武器を取ったばっかりだよな。待って、今緊急データ秘密研究所。
バニラエア便の運航が終了しました。バニラエアは2013年に成田空港を拠点に運航を開始し、国内線、国際線延べ19路線を運航していましたが、来月同じ ANA ホールディングス傘下のニーチアビエーションと契約
Wonder if we'll find any grisly experiments in here.
Proximity alert. Biology human. Protocol kill all plants. Suspended. Present your Rizzo identification credentials or prepare to be downsized. Attempting to disengage security protocols without proper authorization is a fireable offense. Priming weapons.
You don't want to shoot us. We're from the board. Real distinguished corporate jackasses we are. Yeah.
Mediocre verbal evasion detected. Threat level downgraded to negligible. Weapons disengaged.
It's nothing.
Be advised. Mantisaur threat level is petrifying purple berry. Please use caution. Have a pro.
なるほど。難なく通れるようになったって認識でいいの？そのようだ。多分この辺なんだろうな、そのやばい物質が。 後で高く売れそうだ。これはなんだ。あ、やっぱりお菓子とかそういう系なんだろうな。誰が
Traps everywhere. Watch it.
誰が置いたかわからないが、マジでトラップだらけ。マジそのワイヤーどうしろって100要求されるのさすがに勘弁してくれ。
Going silent.
なんかいる。
Halt.
あ、ちくしょう。
Here they come.
もうこ
れ Assist security.
Come on, down!
That's the last of them.
倒せてよかった。
Take cover! You're hurt!
気づくの遅すぎ。気づくの遅すぎ。
実のところ、本日初めてだった。Officials kept the car a well-guarded secret until the last possible minute, even from the Imperial Guard.
あ、ここ開けるところから。ああ、なるほど。なんでホイールがいらなそうなロボットからフライホイールが出てくるんだ。ずれ。バーで閉じられてる。
All right, here we go. Watch this. I am a storm. Oh, that's the last of him. nice and quick. That should do it. Just gotta siphon off the Alta Vitae.
案外防具の方が種類が豊富だったりするな。まあほとんどが色違いなんだがな。冷凍冬眠スーツだけ残しとこう。
Traps. Watch your step.
この100をどうにかできるんだな。なんとかなったんだろうけど。
Oh. Performing an alien.
Looks like we're doing this.
かなり痛そう。
Can we do that again?
この状況、こういうところでそういう相手にドロップキックとか本当痛そう。よくできるね。君のその行動力は全く大したものだよ。全くもう素晴らしいの一言につけるわ。例の薬品が充満しててここは無理そうなんだよ。どっか他に通路がないか探してみるか。って言ったらあとここぐらいなのか。そのハッキングスキルねえよ。あら、あ、はい。これどういうこと？あれなんだ？あ、嘘。少々失礼します。ほんとさ、途中で言うこと聞かなくなるのほんとやめてくれって。表彰状。
Gotta admit, I ain't got a lot of sympathy for someone willing to experiment on themselves, or any person.
Don't see what's so brave about experimenting on yourself. Damn fool way to die.
ドロンそいつもう死んでるよ。ああ、そうだ。さて、特製ポイントタイム。今回は何に振りましょう。あ、これにしよう。 きの紙見ればわかること。まだいるのか。クイーンがいるぜ。
On it, Captain. Here we go.
マンチピラやマンチサルに遭遇するとパーティーがマンチ系生物から攻撃を受けたときに自分らしくいることができなくなる。拒否で。そんなアウタにいちいちドラゴンを受けないといけないっていう状況はごめんだ。下に落っこったらひとたまりもねえやつだよ。下落っこったらひとたまりもねえやつだよ。
Nice going, boss. Looks like it's working.
エンジニアリングなら任せろ。特性耐性プラス1。ちょっと失礼。それでもこっちで降りりゃいいのか。いや、降りてどうにかなる問題でもなさそうだな。あ、やっぱやっぱダメだったわ。じゃあなんとかするためにここにそうか、何かしら入れる前に一時的に入れればいいのか。 適当に詰め込んで怖えな。なんつうところに武器が置いてあるんだ。全くこれだな。間違ってファイリングされたせいでマーケティング用 CM ソングに特化した研究グループを最高機密の兵器研究施設に振り込んでしまった。研究グループは数ヶ月かけて新しいマーケティング用 CM ソングを高度な武器の形で具現化し出来上がったのがマインドコントロールレーダー。この不運な出来事が発覚すると施設全体が閉鎖され、全ての職員は企業が所有する最も優秀な開発局へと移転させられた。マインドコントロールレイってことは洗脳できんのかこれ。やぶんね。足く切っただけで済んでよかったよ。
審議の合間に菅官房長官に自らの答弁について反省を尽くした場もあり、関係者によると菅長官は高く評価したということです。一方で小泉氏は終了時、自分のカラーを出さないと悩みを吐露しているといいます。今小泉氏は何を思うのか直接聞いてみました。
Used to be, you can get the best wine on Monarch here.
Eyes up, boss. We're rambling into the jaws of danger.
And we're stalking, and we're stalking.
俺どこにいんの？あの問題は解決しなきゃならない。やるか。
Here we go.
Nice hit.
Got him, boss.
Mess with us?
ラフティードンをみんなで漁ったのかこいつらは。 ここが破れてやる。
Did you and Ellie drink all my Spectrum Red?
Oh, was that yours? I thought it was their new Felix line. Whoops.
I knew it. Mioka. Damn it, I was saving that.
男女9人が逮捕された事件で、グループが事件に関与した飲食
だんだん武器の単価が上がってきてんな。まあそういうもんか。
警視庁によりますと、郡司明容疑者や石井玉井容疑者ら9人は、福島県いわき市の飲食店の経営者らと共謀して、から原発事故の賠償金およそ2650万円を騙し取った疑いが持たれています。その後の捜査関係者への取材で、郡司容疑者らが経営者に複数回にわたって賠償金の虚偽申請をしていたことが新たに分かりました。石井容疑者は
何を
5回の虚偽申請をした経営者に対し、6回目の申請を求めています。
ふう。
Captain, Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
Naruhito this week proclaimed his ascension with plans for Sanbu's throne, a ceremony with ancient imperial tradition.
こうやって移しておけば。よし。 サイエンスでさらなる改造でかかる費用がマイナス 90% は欲しいんだよな。結果武器を改造するのに必要な何かしらっていうのかな、減るのが一番いいと思うんだよ。まあいいや。で、なんだっけ。
Please avoid damaging yourself or others while you are out. Our fuel cells are now primed with Alta Vitae gas. As the organics say, let us hope we do not explode.
そうだ、危なっかしいなんか爆発物積んでるから、まずそれさっさとグランドブレーカーに送っちまおうか。
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
誰行かせよう。サム行かせるわけにいかねえしな。これいいかな。少ししたら寝ようと思っているけど、そうだな。クエストの報告したら寝よう。で、起きたらまた続きをやるとしよう。
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in.
俺たちにとって高値な花だね。まだまだ。
Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. No one you saw, anyway. Glad to see you're looking out for yourself. I hope you kept the Unreliable's engines warm. Because I got another job lined up for my new favorite contractor. They're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
How big we talking? Not like groundbreaker big, right?
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why. While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me.
次のミッションだった。マジでねえよ。
BNP, I can't believe it's not yours. It's unbelievable. Purple-berry punch. You want a punch? You got your punch right here.
I am a dirty, autonomous digital astrogator, Sam. I haven't cleaned my internals in ages. Can you hardly process the sheer quantity of dust built up in there? Tell me you've seen worse. We'll continue this later. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I'll be here.
Battery levels are fully charged. Thank you, customer. Sam, merciless on germs.
「見放されてるのか」
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
そういう持ち方になるのね。
Thank you again for retrieving the bolt. It's every bit as complex as I'd heard, but I'm up to the challenge. Anyway, what can I do for you? Excellent timing on your part. I worked my fingers to nubs, but I've finally completed the Bolt 52 form. I dare say it will be my second greatest achievement after the reformations.
You're getting ahead of yourself again.
So I am. Do you have this cartridge? I'm working on a plan to reorganize the board. Slowly, peacefully, and with meticulous documentation.
My plan's better.
Oh, what's your plan?
We skip all the paperwork and reorganize the board quick and violent-like.
A so-called hostile takeover. A daring notion, but often an expensive one, and fraught with unforeseen consequences. But truly, I am getting ahead of myself. First, I need to submit the Bolt 52, with that data you're holding, of course. I knew there was something going on. This is exactly the proof we need. The board will have to welcome us back now. I'll transmit this data along with the completed Bolt 52 right away. After that, we'll sit back and quietly wait for the board to respond.
That means no more broadcasts from us.
Now we just gotta go dance with those iconoclasts.
Believe me, you've got your work cut out for you there. Was there anything else? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. It's true, the board has treated us unfairly, but I'd always envisioned that things could be different. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. Ah, so you've heard about our prior... I suppose you're right. Graham's always had a way with words. Strange as it may seem, I suspect he'd have quite the corporate career if he weren't so radical. Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago. We both agreed that MSI's treatment of its workers was untenable. I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, he'll own your dignity too.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community. And being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable... I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position. My hope is to make... Reforms are humane, but they're also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive work. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these. No. In a manner of speech, I moved forward, yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board. I don't think I realized how far they'd... Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort... I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps... Well, technically, he may have suggested it, but he certainly wasn't doing...
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments, by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
They would say it's for the greater good. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. What can I do for you?
さて、グラハムのところに行くのはまた休憩が終わった朝ぐらいにしようと思います。本日はこれにて終了させていただきたいと思います。また次回もよろしくお願いします。それではまたね。